Hey, what's going on, guys? It's yours from those Arnon Toast here, coming live. This is episode 51 of Road to 2000 ELO and Chess, and we're just going to hop right into it. Probably do one or two games. And also, I've made a new rule for myself, okay? Whenever I am playing and I lose a game, and I feel like I want to play another to make up for it, but I'm not doing so great that day, then I'm just going to call it quits, alright? So only one game if I feel like things aren't going well. Learned that from yesterday when I got very distracted and just had a bad day. It's a point where you need to realize that it's not worth it. It's just not worth it, because there are good days in chess where you're focused, you're feeling good, things are going well, and then there's times where you just are out of it, you don't feel like you're playing your best. And that's what it was yesterday, to be honest. So, it is what it is. We do what we can. But I think that's a new little rule that I'm going to make for myself, is if I lose a game, then I'll call it good for the day, and I'll use the rest of my time dedicated to studying. Okay. I think we'll just move the knight over here. And then we can castle, and we are well on our way for the Khan King's Indian Defense. I do have my Skittles. I'm going to eat them in a second. I'm just gotta finish my smoothie first. That is nummy. That is nummylicious. Okay, he's really starting to hit hard on this knight over here. Could be a bit of a problem because we actually don't have any good squares to move right now. So what we could do is we could offer an exchange of knights. Yeah, there's not really any good spots for me to move to. I could... Yeah, I'm thinking just go for the exchange of knights. That's the best option I'm seeing at the moment. Problem is, if I move here and he does take, and then I take, then he'll take, and he'll be up a pawn. So, not the best chances for me there. I think it'd probably be better to actually go ahead and move my bishop and take, so that way my pawn structure stays intact, and I can still defend here. So I think that's what we're gonna do. It is a little disappointing that I have to give up my... actually, you know what? What if he moves here? Then he would take... I don't know. I feel like my defense is about to be kind of wrecked. So I'm a little worried about that. Maybe I'll push this pawn instead. That way these two don't have to move. That's probably better. Then I can open up the center a little bit more for my rook. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And if he does take, then I'll just take with the knight. Otherwise, we're going to have, a little exchange here, where I might be losing a pawn. Yeah, I think I'd rather take him here. Than take this, because if I'm to take this, then he's gonna come in with his queen. And I'm still okay for the moment, but... Well, and then I could take here. I just don't understand how I'm going to be defending this pawn. Right. If I take here, then he can take... I just don't like my pawns being too unorganized. I know I'm overthinking this, but I do feel like this is a pivotal moment in the game that I have to be very wary of. So which one do I take? I'm not exactly sure. Take here, he has to bring his queen in. You know what? I think we should do this, so that way if he takes and I take, then we're able to still pressure this knight. So we're going to do that, right? If he does decide to take right away, then we could take his knight. I don't like how it's weakening my defense, but... Okay, and hopefully this gives us the opportunity to place him in check in just a moment here. You know what we could do is... Nah, actually, yeah, we'll just go ahead and take him here. Okay, yeah, and he takes the pawn. So we're able to take here, but he's going to be coming in pretty hard with 2 of his pieces. So let's be extra wary about that. You know what? I think we're okay. I think I've been a little too worried over nothing. I think we're okay for now. Perhaps I'll move here, causing the exchange, and then I can push forward and attack the king. I feel like that would be the best move at the moment. So hopefully he takes, and then I'm able to push towards his king. Because that would do me a lot of favors. I do still remain undeveloped on the queen side, so I need to get that taken care of. Okay, and he did decide to take. Yeah, let's go and take with the queen. And we'll push here in a moment. Okay, so he decides to give us the queen. And that's game. Perfect. So, pretty straightforward. Nothing too extreme there. I know that I took a really long time with that one move, but in the end, it turned out working well for us. So, you know, it's worth it. Take your time, guys. When it comes to these rapid games, it's like you have 10 minutes for a reason. Use the time. It's going to be the best way to learn. You're going to give yourself the opportunity to learn and really think about what moves you're going to make. Right? In Bullet and Blitz, a lot of it is not so much calculation, but instinct and just recognizing the situation that you're in. But here we should be taking the opportunity. Okay, so yeah, I think I did make a little bit of a mistake. He was pushing his pawns up, and I kind of figured that he'd be starting to attack my knight if I made this move. I should have gone back here, I'm going to assume. No, I should have been offensive. Okay. Usually I don't like that because I don't want my pawn to be out there in the middle of nowhere all by itself. But it looks like it's saying I should have been more offensive with that piece. Which makes sense because this just placed my knight into a bad position. Okay, so he attacks the knight. We're able to take back. He comes in with the queen. I think he was just trying to go in for a checkmate somehow, right? He could be trying to attack this piece. Thankfully, I'm able to attack his knight. So we're currently up by 1. And then we get this really nice position where I could soon come in and attack the king and then start scooping up some pawns, right? But instead, he actually just gives us the queen, and that was game. Okay, so we're going to do one more. No Skittles required that game. I am going to open them now, though. I love Halloween, guys. Halloween is just the absolute best. It's my favorite holiday. You get to watch horror movies. You get to wear a costume. You get to eat candy. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than that. And no seeing family required. Not that there's anything wrong with seeing family, but I know a lot of people don't appreciate that obligation. I mean, and you know what? People say, oh, what about your Christmas dinner? What about your Thanksgiving meal? Make it a Halloween meal. You can do whatever you want. Your holiday. You know, go ahead, make yourself a turkey dinner. Make yourself a ham dinner. Drink eggnog while you're at it. People give too many excuses. Alright, we're all set up. Well, I guess we could push this pawn, but we're all set up for the London. Things are looking decent. Take, take, take. That's not going to work. I think we'll just go ahead and push this pawn. And then we can bring the rook over later. Well, yeah, we want to do this one. Okay, and then we'll castle, bring the rook over, and we can start trying to weaken his position. That's good stuff. We could go here, and then actually attack this. No, he has his knight. This knight is really pesky, and when you're playing the London, so we actually want to try to get rid of it if possible. Unfortunately, I've given up my dark squared bishop, which I probably shouldn't have done now that I think about it. I much rather would have traded for that dark squared knight, but what can you do? We'll have to get rid of it at some point in the future. So let's just continue developing. We'll go ahead and castle. Now I suspect he may move here in a moment. Yeah, so that way he can bring in the queen and try to get checkmate on us. We're not going to fall for that. Things are fine. And you know what? Actually, we're okay because we still have this knight here. Right, so he comes in, we take, he takes, we take, we're fine. So we're actually going to ignore that threat for a moment. It does open up the opportunity to attack this pawn. So two options here. We can either move in our rook and take control of the c-file, or we can place our queen here and we can just be really offensive. Let's say that we move the queen and we attack. It's not actually going to do a whole lot because he's just going to move here, but it does give us a free pawn and we could always move back, right? So yeah, we'll see what he does. He does still have his light squared bishop. We'll have to watch out for that. But let's go ahead and be a little more offensive. I think that we should just take this pawn because our defense is looking fine. All of our pawns are in the right spot. Basically, the only other thing we need to develop is bring our rook in. Right. So he might just move here, which would be fine. And at some point, we'll probably push this knight away just because he doesn't have his light squared bishop or his dark squared bishop anymore. So that's going to help us in moving these two pawns. Yeah, so we'll push him away at some point. There's really no rush for it, you know. There's no threat here. And to be honest, I'm not making a huge threat either by moving here. But like I said, it's a pawn that's just kind of hanging. I don't have any other grand plans at the moment, so I think we'll just take it and roll with it. Get some more skills going. I would say that there's tons of great things about Halloween, but the candy is probably my favorite, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. Okay, he makes a pretty good move here. He actually defends with his f-pawn. Overall, that's probably going to hurt him in the long run. Because I think if we're able to move this pawn, then we now have a clear shot at attacking the king. Okay. Question is, how do we move this pawn? Well, we have this pawn, which he would take, we would take, he would take, but we'd be losing a bishop in the process. Don't want that. Really like these Skittles, by the way. So, Maybe we should just give up on that plan for now. Maybe we should push this guy. We could push this guy and hope that he takes here. But again, we're gonna be losing a bishop at some point in the mix of that. And we don't want that to happen. So let's see. We could, I don't know why I'm even saying that we should push this. The only good thing that this would do, pushing this knight away, is it's gonna clear up this guy. Right? We're gonna be able to move this guy. But it's not a huge help. I think the safest move is actually to move our rook to the E file. That way, when we do start to push, if we're able to open things up, then we'll be able to take control here. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm not seeing any larger threats at the moment. So let's do that. But yeah, Halloween, the candy is probably my favorite part. It's a little disappointing how it starts to get cold out, maybe a little more rainy, but what can you do, you know? What can you do? So I think here we're going to go ahead and push. So that way we can get this pawn to move. Problem with that is now this pawn will be in the open, which is only covered by this knight, which allows a checkmate if this guy moves. Thankfully, this guy's here. He's blocking, meaning we are going to push. But guys, be very wary. There is a potential checkmate right here. So we have to watch out. Okay, interesting move. He comes in, starts to attack the queen. I suppose he could attack my pawn in a moment. I think moving here is going to be fine, because then we're able to both defend and attack. Just be a little careful. Don't want to make any huge mistakes like giving up this bishop or giving up this pawn. Okay, and he just decides to go for the trade. Could force a queen trade, but that's not, you know, that's not going to do very much. So he'll probably take here now. So we could move here, but I think I'd rather just take. I feel like this is going to be a very good move in the future. All right, so I want to keep this in my back pocket, right? So I could actually take with a few things here. I could take with the knight, I could take with the rook, or I could take with the queen. I feel like taking with the rook is our best bet. I want to keep this knight here, so that way I can cover the rook. And I want to keep my queen here in case I want to move him here later, right? So I think we're going to go ahead and take it with the rook. Material is even at the moment. He's currently blocking himself in with this one pawn. I like where this pawn is at. Okay, he actually is able to x-ray our queen. Very good. Very good. We are still able to save ourselves by placing him in check and then moving away. Let me just make sure that there's no better positions. We're not able to take. I suppose we could threaten his queen, but take. You know, what good is that going to do? So we'll just move here. Place him in check. And I suppose you can move here. We take. That would be completely fine. Let's go and eat some more skills in the meantime. I'll say that lemon and lime are my favorite. Not really a grape guy. I think I have some PTSD from being a sick child and drinking cough medicine, right? Now, that stuff is just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Alright, so he does move away. He gives us the opportunity to move our rook. Now, I think what we should do is we should just back off, to be honest. Or move here. Actually, I kind of like this spot. Problem is he could take. Let's calculate this really quick. Move here. He takes. We take. He takes. Yeah, it's not really going to be worth it for us. So, maybe we should just move back. Because we can't go to any of these squares at the moment. Yeah, I feel like we should probably just move back here. Okay, let's do that. Wow. 2 yellow ones that time. Fun fact, all M&Ms have the same flavor of chocolate. I'm assuming you meant to go here, but I just work here, man. I just work here. Alright. I think it's time for us to make him back off. Well, no, he's still not posing any threats, so I don't need to worry about this knight. Where should we go, though? I'm a little perplexed at where we need to move to at the moment. Move here, maybe? I feel like maybe move here. Then if he takes, we take. That kind of frees us up a little bit with this spot. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. We're running a little low on time, but we got 2.5 minutes to go. Okay. Well, he gives us the queen. So that's kind of nice. And that's a wrap. Okay. Let's go and do the analysis. I feel like it was a pretty even game for the most part. Not seeing any huge advantages. It looks like there was one right here. So we'll cover that. Alright, so we played the London. Like I said, I do kind of regret making the dark squared bishop trade because I would have rather taken this knight. But he moves the knight later anyway. Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Let's see what he could have done to wreck us. Oh, well, duh. He could have just taken one of my pieces for free. That's ridiculous. Sorry I didn't see that. Yeah, he could have just rammed right forward. Okay, well, I was a dummy for not seeing that. Thankfully, he didn't see it either. As things go on in the game, I do get a better position. Right, for all the reasons we talked about. There's potential to place him in check. He's not forcing any checkmate threats. His pawn's in a very bad spot. I mean, as you can see, him moving that pawn just really hurt him, actually. Looks like I probably maybe... Well, let's see what it wanted us to do there. Okay, so right here, it wanted us to go ahead and take... I didn't want to do that because that would be opening things up if he were to take us here. But that makes sense because if I take, he can't do any of that, right? He has to move. So, okay. Well, that makes sense. Instead, I decided to move forward. Things were just really locked up for him. And I got myself into some pretty decent positions. And then he just gave us his queen in the end, and that's a wrap. Alright, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Pretty decent day. That's 2 wins. It's all because of these bad boys right here. Holiday season. You're getting lots of skills for free. Make sure you use them when you're playing chess. Every little bit of help in chess makes a big difference in the long run. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash like that. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, favorite, share, and donate. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.